Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salute to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity, hoping to receive mercy from Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of our Heavenly Father, that to the world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos, we are the Israelites. That's according to the prophecies of the Holy Scriptures. So this is the brother Shamar from the GMS Jamaica camp, and I'm just here to do a quick lesson here on the topic of the Lord actually delivered me today out of a situation on the plantation and at the so-called workplace, the plantation. Right, I'll give you a quick synopsis of what happened. Grab a few precepts. I pray this lesson is edifying. So without going into too much detail, a co-worker of mine delivered me up for a legitimate error that I made. It wasn't that big of an error. It wasn't anything detrimental. It was a simple, actually an honest mistake, right? It's a co-worker that sits, I'd say 2 feet away from me. So it was a simple thing for them to bring it to my attention, but instead they escalated it all the way to the boss of our boss, trying to get me in trouble. But luckily, through the Spirit, the Rakar Kodash, the Holy Spirit, the Lord gave me the words to say to when I was actually confronted about it by the boss. One thing with this truth, it teaches you how to take reproof. And all I did was sincerely apologize. I thanked them for bringing this honest mistake to my attention, and I gave my promise that I would never do it again, because it was a genuine error, But Tawada Yahweh Ba'ashim Yashai, for giving me this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because it was precepts like this that was playing in my head while the Lord gave me the words to say to get myself out of the situation without any penalties, without any punishment. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 9, verse 8. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. This person, my co-worker in the world, they don't know that I am a follower of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai to the best of my ability. So we are ordered to accept reproof and love. We're ordered to be wise, and if you're wise, you'll understand reproof, accept reproof, and you'll love someone that reproves you, because when someone corrects you for something that you did wrong, it actually is helping you towards perfection. That's how you get more and more perfect. When your flaws are pointed out, whether it's in the ministry or whether it's in your walk, in your daily life, whenever faults are pointed out and you're made aware of your faults, then you can go ahead and correct them and never repeat them to the best of your ability. So Tawada Yahbashim Yashai. Proverbs 9 and 8 again, reprove not a scorner lest he hate thee, rebuke a wise man and he will love thee. And to the point of reproving a scorner, many times on the plantation I've seen people get themselves in hot water. This is really talking about the truth, but relating to the workplace, a lot of times when people are a scorner, someone who doesn't want to accept reproof, is being reproved, they'll say, yeah, but, no, and they'll try to deflect and not take accountability, right? And then they get themselves in deeper and deeper trouble. They actually end up repeating those mistakes further on, and they might get themselves fired, right? That's how it would play out in the workplace, Likewise in the truth, if someone not accepting reproof in the truth, a brother is going off, elder brother is talking with them, elder brothers start to talk with them afterwards, and they're not accepting reproof. If that continues, they might get suspended from the camp or worse, right? Verse 9 in Proverbs 9, give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. And that's what happened to me today at work. The person delivered me to try to get me in trouble. But what ended up happening was I was reproved, I was taught what I was supposed to do, and I got wiser. I know not to repeat that error. So now I'm going to continue to outperform the rest of my co-workers and continue to do what I'm doing through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yashai, so I can maintain my household and keep doing this work in this truth. So I get my next precept. This is Proverbs 12 and verse 1, whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. So this truth, this ministry teaches us to love instruction. The law, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures are instructions on how we're supposed to be conducting ourselves, the laws we're supposed to be following, how we're supposed to deal with people, the things we're supposed to do, the things we're not supposed to do. The word teaches us to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, know how to answer everyone. So these are the things we practice and we put into play, in our day-to-day walk. Right? But if you hate reproof, when you do go off, because none of us are perfect, we will go off. If we do go off and you hate when someone points out your flaws, then that is someone that's brutish. And let's get the definition of the word brutish. Right? I'll get the blue letter. And we'll get Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 1. All right? So this is Proverbs 12 and 1. Let's look up that word brutish. So this is the Hebrew word for brutish, right? And it means stupidity, brutish person, brutishness, foolish, right? So one that doesn't accept instruction, especially when you're going off, is someone that is foolish, all right? And if you're foolish, it doesn't work in your favor. It works against you, You make the situation worse. It's better to be wise and accept reproof and thank someone, because now you're getting, your wisdom is increasing. This is Proverbs 15 and 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, but he that hateth reproof shall die. So of course we call out into the highways and hedges to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Whoever heed that call, and forsake the way of the sinner to the best of their ability, that's the way of life. Because if you don't take heed, it shall lead to death. Likewise in the workplace, if your superior is correcting you, if your superior is correcting you and you hate that reproof, or you show that you're not going to listen, that will going to lead to what will happen. You will get fired, which is the equivalent of dying. You're going to be losing your income. All right? And I know that person that delivered me up, that coworker who delivered me up, wanted something to happen to me. I just know it in my spirit, because ever since I was, well, I won't give too much details, but I just know through the spirit, without giving too much details, it is evident that this person had something against me for escalating me all the way to the top for a simple error that he could have just spoke to me one-on-one with, and I would have accepted and thanked him for the correction. But whatever, that's just a person in the world, so we don't expect much from them, right? Because they're not a follower of the way of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So I'll finish with this. This is Colossians 4, verse 5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Yeah, walk in wisdom towards them or without. Now, in relation to this this testimony regarding what happened at work, walking in wisdom would be what I did afterwards, after the reproof that I got from our superior. I never acted any indifferent or any different way towards the person that reported me. It was just level vibes, cool, like nothing changed. I just continued doing my work, and I actually went on to have an excellent day in terms of producing and sales figures. My sales figures were high. So I actually had an excellent day that day. So I just walked in wisdom. I never added any animosity, anything like that. I just behave like a normal day. And likewise, we have to walk in wisdom towards them or without regarding this truth. We have to know, who we're talking or casting our pearls before, because as Yahweh said, if you cast your pearls towards swine will turn around and trample you, roughly paraphrasing. You have to know how to deal with people, right? Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how to answer every man. And these are the precepts that were playing in my mind while I was getting that reproof. All I did was thank my superior, for bringing this knowledge to my attention. I will never repeat it again. I told them I'm sorry umpteen times, and I thank them for this information, because now I know what to do moving forward. And I gave my word that I would never repeat this error, because now I'm aware that that shouldn't be. I shouldn't do that thing that was done, and I genuinely thank them. It was a quick session, because once they pointed out to me and I responded like that, there was nothing more to say. So I'm sure that person who delivered me up, rather than say something to me, they probably we'll leave them to their conscience, and I'll just leave it at that. So I just wanted to give a lesson. This truth of ours is really precious. It teaches us how to conduct ourselves, and it really came through to me today in that certain situation, and it even sparked a lesson out of it. So Tawada Ya Bashim and Shai, even the precept, I could even finish with this, because these are the precepts I was reading after I knew that I was being delivered up and being escalated. My favorite precept, man. All right. Ecclesiasticus 2 verse 4. Whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. These are the words that comfort me in this situation and had me smiling and even laughing to myself, because I was trying to take it cheerfully as the scriptures instruct me to do. And I was being patient, and the Lord brought me through that situation. So all praises, glory, and honor, of course, to Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Karkadash, to give me the spirit to this lesson, to Wadaya Bashim Shai, for the teachers that have taught me this truth, and it's really been a blessing in my life. Shalom to the elect.